So we're so excited to introduce you to our new homeowners, Kevin and Laura Cook, here on this episode of the Porch Chronicles. Welcome to 1002 Nobis Alley here in Oakland Park. This house boasts 4,851 square feet under air on an amazing oversized corner lot right off of the West Orange Trail. This house has so many upgrades and amazing features. We have 5 bedrooms, a theater room, a golf simulation area, the pool, a hot tub, plus the casita, and an amazing outdoor kitchen. All the things for this episode of the Porch Chronicles. Hi, it's Tracey Morrissey again. We'd like to welcome you to the Porch Chronicles, where we discuss all the things Oakland Park, custom building, and real estate. So normally for the Porch Chronicles, we're sitting on our porch, obviously, but in true Florida fashion, we are having one of our afternoon rainstorms. Today, we're so excited to introduce to you our newest homeowners, Kevin and Laura Cook, all the way from Texas. And I don't know, it's been a really boring part in your life lately. We'd love to hear what's been going on with you since you moved in.
Well, we just got back from Paris, and where our daughter was a silver medalist with Sarah Bacon. So they're cooking bacon, yes. And so we came back and we were in Paris for 10 days. And got to enjoy that, and then came back and then had a house full of grandchildren until August 18th. So it's been a wild last, pretty much 6 weeks.
Yeah, you basically moved in and then became famous. Everyone's been driving by their houses and seeing the Olympic stuff. So that's been a really, really cool neat thing for Oakland Park for sure.
Right.
And for Winter Garden.
Yeah, and the community has been great because we had an Olympic party send off, which Cassie and Sarah couldn't come to, but all the neighborhood came and we decorated the front of the house. Blooming Yard signs put up these great signs for us, and then everybody would drive by in their golf cart and go, "Good luck, congratulations." Awesome. So it's been really great.
Cute. I love it. So you guys have been in the house for half a year, a little over a half a year,
8 months.
I would say. First of all, I love this house. It's definitely one of our J&J favorites, I would say, right up there. There's so many amazing aspects to this house. What would you say are some of your favorite features of the home?
Mine are very male-oriented.
That's good.
I love the theater room, and we have a golf simulator. I love that too. The pool and jacuzzi area. I'm in that hot tub every day. So and the grill. We've got an amazing grill. So I try to do as much cooking outside as possible. And then inside there's a butler pantry where I can go and have some privacy and not get yelled at for messing up the kitchen. So those would be my...
It's a marriage saver.
Those would be my favorite areas of the house.
That's the theater, the golf, the pool,
the grill.
You don't need to go anywhere on vacation.
I don't.
You have it all here.
And my favorite thing is two things. I built the whole house around the kitchen counter. I saw this counter on TikTok and I was like, I have to have this. And Kelly got it for me from California and shipped it out here. And then I saw these beautiful tiles from Australia that I had to have in my bathroom. And Kelly was able to find them here in the United States. And so I've this big bathtub with this beautiful wallpaper and this teal tiles. So those are my two favorite areas.
It's like an international display.
Yes.
Australia and I don't know all the things.
I
You have
would
anything to say about that countertop.
I would say that building a home is obviously beyond the single largest investment, and you were doing it while you were living your life, traveling, everything. And I have said this many times, Laura trusted the process. She trusted our team. She embraced it. She was kind to our guys. She was, applauded, their victories. She appreciated all the hard work, and we were able to finish this house and get everything that you wanted, and it's fabulous.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
No, we're good.
That leads me to like my next question, because I'm afraid to ask this, but what house is this for you guys? Number that you've built and moved into?
4.
Really?
5.
No, that we built and moved into.
Well,
So the house was already
Okay.
built in Lagomar, and both of those. So
the first one was a spec house, remember?
right,
And the other one was existing. Then bought a new one in Texas.
but we got into it. It was already being built, but so I was able to pick things out for that. So I felt like that was a reflection of me. But this house is like the first house that we built. Like, this is the house.
Like fully
Right.
custom, picking
Right.
every little thing.
Right. You will not come into this house and say, this is a boring, white, beige, neutral house.
Or gray and white.
No,
gray and white.
no, this is, yeah.
It took me a couple of years to talk her into moving out of Houston because we loved our house in the Woodlands. She's like, Texas is our home now. I'm like, we don't need this big house. Everybody's grown and gone. Let's go back to Florida so I don't have to commute to work anymore. You can build the house of your dreams. And she found Jim and Jerry to do that, and Kelly.
A little backstory is
Yeah.
that I used to babysit their children in South Florida.
That's crazy.
That's how long we've known each other.
This was like the Fort Lauderdale.
Just a few
Yes,
years.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they have 6 children, which now you have 9
9 grandkids.
grandchildren. Yep. So the bunk room was a big piece of the puzzle.
Oh, yeah.
We even redesigned the room a couple times to make sure that we got all the bunks, trundles, the whole shebang in there.
How many does that bunk room sleep?
9.
9.
So there's
So one
3
for
sets,
every grandkid.
Yes, so there's 3 sets of bunk beds and then trundles underneath them. And Kevin, who works for them, is the one that designed it and built it. And he was phenomenal because he had never done it before. And he was kind of nervous.
Terrified
but he
even.
was great. Like,
It
just,
turned out like
oh my gosh, yeah.
beautifully.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The kids love it. I love it. Yeah.
9 so far.
We're gonna.
Knock, knock.
We got 2 single daughters left that I think they both want to have kids.
We might need a new bunk room.
I can double up.
To like add some more
Bunk
bunks on
beds?
that. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Okay, so you guys relocated here all the way from Texas. You had a relationship with J&J previously.
Yes.
You
Well,
babysat.
I can elaborate.
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's
Jim
a neat story.
was our boss when we met. So known him 40 years.
Wow.
Since 84, 85. Best man at our wedding.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Debbie, Laura was very career oriented when we first met. And then she, became good friends with Debbie, and they had 5 children, and she's been kind of a mentor of hers as a mother coming through.
Kara, her youngest, was the first baby I ever held.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. So, and then Jerry, of course, we've known him for, if we known Jim 40 years, we've known him 39. Yeah. And we've been in and out of J&J homes, in South Florida, Johns Lake or Johns Cove, Plantation Palms, for all these years
Yep.
when Jerry was building them. Then we became partners in the gas station business.
Okay.
So we were partners for 15 years from 1990, 15 years.
A long time ago.
Yeah,
It was a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. So yeah, and so we've seen their kids grow up and become adults, and
So when he said we're moving back to Florida, I was like, I don't want to move to South Florida.
Right. That was my next thing.
Yeah.
So like you didn't really know Winter Garden?
No.
Okay.
So Kelsey, our daughter, lives in Montverde, and then Jim, we knew, was building these houses. And when we came here for a baby shower for one of our daughters, Debbie hosted it. I love this community.
Yeah.
And then the whole fact of Winter Garden with their golf cart Christmas parade and their Halloween decorations,
great.
which, by the way, 2 people already have them up. It's not even the end of August.
Oh my
and
gosh,
it's like
I know.
insane.
Crazy.
And I just love the sense of community and the fact that everybody has a porch and they're outside. And we live on a street. We've been here for 8 months. We've had 3 progressive dinners with our neighbors. Like, we've the best neighborhood, and I love
So
it.
good.
I absolutely love it. And
Yeah.
we love downtown Winter Garden. While we were building the house, I was staying in one of Jim's apartments on Tremaine and Boyd, and I kind of actually miss it a little bit. Even though it's
Yeah.
this beautiful house.
Wander down for your
you
coffee.
just go downstairs and, eat. Like, Kevin would come up from South Florida and go, you have no food? And I'm like, I know. Why would I? I just couldn't go
I have
out
all the
there.
restaurants.
So, and my girls have all said that you found the perfect community for you, because I love how big Christmas is and Halloween, and they celebrate patriotism, and this is just the best place.
That's so cool to hear.
So good to
I
hear.
love hearing that. You seem like you're the perfect candidate for a custom home build. And let me back up, because I don't think it's for everybody. I really don't. I would love to say that. It is a lot of selections. It's a lot of time. I know all of this took time out of your schedule and everything. If you were going to advise someone that was thinking about building, custom, especially here in Oakland Park with J&J, what would you advise them?
Well,
How would
first
you
off,
advise
I
them?
worked with Gail Barley Designs. She's phenomenal, because she listens to what you say and then gives you, say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I can say, oh, and I'm one of those, like, when I see something, yes. It doesn't take me 40 hours. I'm like, that I love, I don't like that, I like this. And
Nice.
Gail was phenomenal. So
Okay.
I think you need to find like a designer that can help you make your choices, that listens to you, so
Yeah.
that the house reflects you and not necessarily them. And I cannot recommend her highly enough.
Okay,
Or
nice.
finding someone that you feel comfortable with.
Right. And Laura's referring to Gail Barley Interiors, one of our interior designers. We work with several. We love all of them. They're amazing. But I agree. It kind of helps you facilitate and visualize, what you want to accomplish in and outside the home.
Right,
It's
and
pretty cool.
we were doing this as the pandemic was, ending, and so we would pick things out, and we'd have to order like months,
Way out.
way in advance, and then
Yeah.
she would store them until we were able to move into the house, because in that environment, you could not say, oh, okay, I need this on this date.
Yeah.
Like, if you could get it, you needed to get it. And it might take 8 months to get the actual piece of furniture or whatever you wanted. So that alone is huge. I don't think you could do it back at that time. I don't
Yeah.
know what it's like now without
Supply
somebody.
chain.
I think
Yes,
the supply chain
issue.
issues have resolved themselves. But it was not just interior stuff. It was trusses and windows and air conditioning.
Yeah, that was a tough
Components,
time
yeah.
for all the builders.
You guys built, I was going to touch on this, so we kind of skipped over this. So another little tidbit is your builder was none other than Al Simmons, who you'd also known
yes.
for
We've
A
known forever.
bajillionaire.
a
He was
bajillion
the superintendent,
years.
yeah.
And he's phenomenal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, he is on the job every day, and Al is just
great.
Yeah, he's just
Amazing.
a great asset.
And you
to
can
the
call
country.
him
Oh, yeah.
anytime.
Yeah.
He
Don't
built my
text
house
him. He
too.
hates text.
Yeah, he's not a great texter.
I'm
but
not going to say call him anytime because he's a friend of mine. I don't want to put that on him, but he's always available.
And we had you in under a year from when we broke ground, right?
Right. Well, a little bit over because that was our fault though, because we changed I don't know
Something
that was with financial.
The
So
simulator, I think you added that towards the
I
end.
don't
It was
think that helps
dangerously
us.
close. It was dangerously close.
If I recall
but,
correctly.
yeah.
So
it
if
all
you
worked
guys,
out.
if you had to do, I always like to ask this, if you had to do something different, is there anything in this house you would change?
Yeah, now that you've lived in it.
Well, you know what I would say.
I would say Kevin wants a
what?
fridge that pulls
Okay, yeah,
out.
Go. Go. Tell me.
Well, he has a golf room, and he did the golf room, and I would rather have got it all from one person than instead of, but he's a deal maker, so that's the only thing I would have changed. It's
Okay.
Oh, the supplier or the?
That's pretty much my golf room. So
That's one of his favorite. That's one of his
it's still
favorite
a work in progress, by the way. So.
right.
Any incidents in there?
Well, yeah. I mean, initially when we were building it, Al was like, "Well, what are you going to do to protect the back wall?" And I said, "Al, the screen is like 110 inches by 120 inches. You're 6 feet away. Nobody's going to hit the wall." Well, the first time I was putting golf balls through the drywall, so I was able to find these nice blue acoustic tiles that went up there that I put up there. And now no issues, but
Wait, are the grandkids allowed to go in that?
not really, because they pull the screen off the roller on top, and it's really a pain in the neck to hook back up. So. Yeah.
I had to touch on that because I heard a little something about
there's a couple no rooms.
Yeah.
an erroneous golf ball that may have.
Yeah.
There were 4
That was
holes.
about 5 golf balls in. I realized we need some protection back there.
Revamp.
What do you think your favorite part of the whole process in creating this, from beginning to end? What did you love most about just the process of building custom?
I love the fact that I just delegated everything to her and just signed the checks when the time came. And honestly, I didn't have to live the ups and downs because I swear to God, she was here every day.
Yeah.
During construction.
So this
From
is
the
a
time it
Laura
was a slab. Okay. From the time it was a slab.
Yeah.
And so I would listen to her updates pretty much daily on what was going on, but not get too involved or too upset. And we trusted Jim and Jerry and Al and Kelly, and we
Well,
we're
it's
family.
funny because Jim was always trying to protect Kevin. He goes, "You don't really need that upstairs balcony."
Right.
I was like, "No, I really need that upstairs balcony."
Try to save me money.
And your husband Mike was like, "She does need that upstairs balcony." He's like, "That makes the house."
Yeah.
So, but my favorite thing was just going, I would go on social media, I would go on Pinterest, I would go and collect ideas and say, I like this. And so I had an idea, and then I loved going to the different showrooms. I went with Kelly quite a bit and picking out tiles and it was fun because everything in this house is a reflection of something that's important to me, whether it's color or design or functionality for a family that has 6 kids and 9 grandkids. Wow. So it's it's perfect.
I love that this house is the place where they can all come. You already said you guys have such a big family and all the kids, all the grandkids, but they can all come.
Right.
Well, Jim and I have talked about, you have to build the bigger mousetrap because you're competing with your other in-laws for your grandkids at holidays and everything else.
Yeah.
So you want your grandkids to be telling their parents, "Hey, we want to go to Pop and Lolly's house."
Yeah.
Because
Lolly and Pops.
Lolly
and
Pops.
Pops.
Yes,
Lolly
and
Pops.
Pops.
Lolly, oh.
But it's so funny because we had Ronan and Colt here, our 2 oldest grandsons, for a week. And then they're back at school now. And so in Colt's journal, the teacher wrote, Colt said today his favorite place in the whole world is Lolly and Niecy's house. Niecy is the other grandma.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah,
You're like,
dear,
you
we
made
did.
it.
We're number
I
one.
didn't hear Pops in there.
It's assumed.
It's assumed.
Yeah, okay.
You made it into
didn't
the
hear
daily
Devin
journal.
either.
That's what
It's
matters.
Lolly and Niecy's.
I think the other thing that was fun is that Kara, the first baby you ever held, was also a part of the process.
yeah.
And we got to go do, like
Pick
Laura
the
was
tiles
sharing,
and
pick the
stuff like that.
tiles and meet with Doug, the cabinet guy, and go to the plumbing place and do all the fun stuff.
Right.
And again, Laura was super decisive. So our visits were constructive, effective, like she's decision-making guru.
Good.
And it all came together pretty easily,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Did you always plan to do the pool? Was that always on the
Oh, yeah.
list?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that
So
was
the
always
most
on the list.
important thing, there were certain things that I had to have for him. Like he had to have his theater room. He has to have a hot tub because he goes in the hot tub every single morning. Like
Even in the
religious.
summer,
It
like
could be
the
Oh, yeah.
height of
snowing.
summer.
Oh, it could be snowing, raining. He's in that hot tub.
And the outdoor shower. We had to have
And the outdoor
yeah.
shower.
And the
Yeah.
fire pit was a big.
The fire pit is for
that
me
you?
because I like that, but that hot tub, yeah. And then our kids grew up in the pool all the time, and so we thought, oh, we need to have a big enough pool for the grandkids. And when Colt and Ronan were here, they were in that pool 8 hours a day, like they
Above all your
loved
videos.
it. Yeah.
The kids.
So that was always that was a big thing. Theater room and then the golf room was supposed to be where I'd store my Christmas trees and all that. But Kevin's like, I want to have a golf room. It's like, oh, you're never going to use the golf room. We don't need a golf room. It's like, no.
Oh, we definitely need it. I'm glad we have it. Everybody in this community is going to be glad we have it.
I agree.
Wait, how many, I have to know, how many Christmas trees do you like to put up?
Well, I mean, we got in December 12th, so I only had 3.
Okay.
So I've been thinking about it. So I need to have one there and one upstairs, and so I need 2 more. And then I need to start
Definitely
rethinking.
need a porch tree. Did you put one up there this past
No,
year?
I didn't put one
Oh,
out
yeah,
there.
we
I think
but
you need one up there.
Yeah, on
Right.
the balcony,
Looks so
right?
good.
Right. So
Yeah.
but I'm just trying to think I have to really think about that, like how I want, because I have a big porch and I want to have like maybe Santa upstairs. I mean, probably have the Christmas tree upstairs and maybe Santa looking down. I've been thinking about this every morning
Santa
at
looking
Starbucks.
down. That would be really cute. I like this idea.
I love it.
I know.
At Starbucks, which is every morning.
Every morning I go there and I'm like, now I'm starting to look, well, what Christmas trees and what can I decorate?
So how many cups do you have?
Too many.
Do we need another closet
No.
or a display cabinet?
No, I have that whole section is my Starbucks cups, which nobody is allowed to have except for when I bring them with the grandkids. And Kevin has his own cups for over there.
Yeah.
And
they're
Josh already-
styrofoam.
You guys are the cup. You're definitely the cup people.
great.
That's so funny. Okay, so you already had a relationship with Jim and Jerry and Kelly and Kara. You know, you kind of already had that, which is so nice. In that you already had a little bit of trust factor with them, like you trusted them,
Right.
And their reputation.
I mean, but at the time, a big article had come out and named them the #1 builder in the country.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't just
Yeah.
that. I mean, they have the best reputation.
Yeah.
And when we have the progressive parties and everything, they're always like, oh, this home is so well built. It really is.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I think Mike was probably the only one that you didn't really know, like
Right.
didn't have a relationship
Yeah.
with him. So maybe talk a little bit about that part of the design process, like the architectural style, the layout, like working with him. How did you feel that
So
went?
he had kind of designed this house. We lived in, what would you say, like an Italian kind of villa in Texas. It was really beautiful. Had a big
Yeah, it would be called, what is the term?
Spanish
Tuscan.
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 Yeah, yeah.
So that was, and we had like stone floors, and it was really
Totally
a
different
beautiful
style.
house. When you walked in, it was this big, gigantic, open area that like had 30-foot
Travertine
ceiling.
floors
Yeah,
and-
so
Oh, wow.
it was beautiful. So so when it came here and looked at this lot, Mike had done like a southern. I feel like this is kind of a southern home, and I was like, oh, I absolutely love it. But there are things that I need to like add, like his theater room and the golf room, and so I would say, oh, I need to have this, and he would come up with a design that I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. And like I said, Jim was trying to save Kevin money, and he was like, "Oh, we don't need this second floor balcony." I'm like, "Yes, we do." And Mike's like, "We do need that. That makes the house." So he was strongly in my corner, which was great.
I always like to say it's almost like realistic pony and dreamy pony are
Right.
part of the building process.
Right. But
There has to be a voice of
He's very
reason.
easy to work with because once you tell him an idea, which I'm not, I have to see things.
Yeah.
Like he can see it in his head before
Yeah.
he ever puts it on
It's
paper.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a gift.
Yeah.
Because I knew what I wanted, and I would say I want this, but I could never have put pen to paper. And then he'd come back and like, yeah, that's
The
exactly.
visual.
Yes.
I know. It's so helpful. That is something that not a lot of builders do. Even like in the first meeting when he's like, sketching, like that first sit down, that's just really rare.
Right. To be able just to see that in your head and come up with that instead of just a cookie cutter thing.
Yeah.
I had a funny little, you were going to say something, but
I was just going to say that Jim has some design skills too.
he's
Yes.
really good.
Oh yeah, he enjoys it.
yeah,
he tinkers
I mean,
with it.
It goes back to when we were, building gas stations and designing C-stores and food offerings and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I mean, he would sketch it out on a pad.
Oh, he
and-
definitely enjoys it. We always say to like Mike will spend your money and Jim will try to save it. So that's pretty much with every single client.
I think they all
Every
do.
single client. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, and we're going to wrap up here, but we're so happy to have you guys in Oakland Park. Like, you're the quintessential Oakland Park people. We're so happy that we were able to snag you with our J&J family. But anyway, we're looking forward to celebrating with Cassidy and the Olympic parade and welcoming her back to Winter Garden. So we definitely look forward to that.
Do you think there's ever a world where any of the other kids come
We
here?
want to come.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Move here,
definitely.
really?
Oh,
Working on
yeah.
that.
I figured
So yeah, no, there's several that want to end up here.
That's
that would be
Yeah.
epic because Jim has two of his kids
Right.
living in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're
So now it's a competition, right? You gotta... Well, we love you guys and we appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk about all the things custom building with us.
Well, we thank you for the experience, the outcome. Let's have a toast.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers
Woo!
to the cookhouse.
To the cookhouse.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Thanks for meeting with us for another episode of the Porch Chronicles. We'll see you next time.